Comfort is the slowest form of self-destruction. It's not the chaos that ruins people. It's not the storm. It's the silence, the slow drip of wasted time, the unnoticed passing of days that look exactly like each other. No alarms, no emergency, just quiet decay. People imagine destruction as something loud, violent, catastrophic, but real destruction, the kind that ends dreams, erases potential, and buries ambition, it's quiet, it whispers, it soothes, it tells you, relax, you deserve a break when you haven't earned one. Comfort tells you to snooze the alarm, just 10 more minutes, but those 10 minutes become an hour, and that hour becomes a pattern. Soon, it becomes who you are. A person who runs from discomfort, a person who breaks promises to themselves. You don't notice it happening because comfort doesn't slap you in the face. It hugs you, it strokes your ego. It makes you feel safe, and slowly, it starts to kill your drive. Think about it. How many dreams died on the couch? How many visions were buried in the warm blanket of laziness? How many businesses were never started because scrolling on your phone felt easier? Comfort tells you, you can do it tomorrow. And you believe it, you always believe it. Until one day, there are no tomorrows left. Look at your daily life. Look at the choices you make. You come home from work or school exhausted, but not from real effort. From routine, you collapse on the couch, order food, and turn on the TV. And then you call that your reward a reward for what? For surviving another average day. Comfort seduces you into staying the same. It says, you're good enough when deep down, you could be so much more. You see people who are winning and you think they're lucky, but they're not lucky. They're uncomfortable every day. They wake up early when they don't want to. They do the hard things when nobody is watching. They push through boredom, pain, and pressure. You think they don't feel what you feel. They do. They just choose differently. You say you want change, but when the alarm rings, you hit snooze. You say you want success, but when it's time to work out, you say you're tired. You say you want freedom, but you spend every free hour chasing comfort. You don't realize comfort is like quicksand. It feels soft at first, warm even. But every second you stand still, you sink deeper. And the deeper you sink, the harder it is to move. Comfort is the enemy disguised as a friend. It feeds your excuses. It tells you the gym is too far. The book is too long. The work is too hard. It tells you other people have it easier, that you've had a rough life, that you need to take it slow. It gives you all the right reasons to fail without ever sounding negative. Have you ever watched a lion in a cage? It's still a lion, but its spirit is broken. It doesn't roar, it doesn't hunt, it doesn't fight. Why? Because it's been fed, it's been sheltered. It doesn't need to survive. That's what comfort does. It puts your instincts to sleep, your ambition fades, your hunger disappears, and you start living like an animal in captivity. Safe, but dead inside. You were not built for that. You were not made to drift. You were made to dominate, to build, to fight for your future. And yet here you are, living the same day over and over, thinking something magical will happen. But magic doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens in the fire. Every person you admire, every entrepreneur, athlete, leader, they all had to fight comfort. They all had to break free from the trap of the easy life. Look around you. People are numb, eyes glued to screens, bodies soft, minds dull. Why? Because comfort won. But not everyone is asleep. Some people wake up every morning with fire in their chest. Not because they feel like it, but because they made a decision to never be average, to never be soft, to never be a slave to comfort. You think they're different from you. They're not. They just decided to suffer now so they don't suffer forever. Because the truth is simple. You either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And regret screams louder than any workout, earlier than any alarm. So ask yourself this. What has comfort really given you? More time, more money, more happiness, or just more regret, more guilt, more wasted potential? Every day you choose comfort, you trade your future for a cheap hit of pleasure. Every time you skip the hard thing, you get weaker. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually. Comfort is not peace. Comfort is poison. It numbs your soul while life slips through your fingers. You want to change your life. Stop chasing comfort. Start chasing growth. Choose pain now so you can build power later. Because comfort might not kill you today, but it is killing everything great inside you. Slowly, quietly. Without mercy, you're not tired, you're just undisciplined. Read that again because it might hurt, but it's the truth you need to hear. You say you're tired, exhausted, drained, like you've been working so hard. But what exactly did you do today that left you so empty? Did you climb a mountain? Did you build an empire? Or did you just scroll for 3 hours, complain for 2, and put off everything that matters? The problem isn't your energy, it's your excuses. Discipline doesn't rely on how you feel. It shows up regardless. It gets the job done. Tired or not, ready or not, willing or not. And you're not tired. You're just addicted to comfort. The truth is, your body has energy. Your mind has potential. But your will is soft. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow is just another excuse. And the next day, and the next. Until you're a month deep in the same rut. Wondering why nothing's changing. It's not because you're overworked. It's because you're undisciplined. People confuse business with productivity. They say, I've been so busy. But busy doing what? Watching Netflix while scrolling on your second screen, complaining about life while doing nothing to change it. You're not overworked. You're overwhelmed by laziness disguised as rest. Rest is earned. Rest is sacred. But what you're doing isn't rest. It's escape. It's running from responsibility. Discipline would have told you to get up, get moving, handle your tasks, then rest with honor. But undisciplined whispers, you're tired. Take it easy, and you listen because it's easier. It's easier to believe you're tired than to admit you're wasting your potential. It's easier to scroll than to study. It's easier to binge than to build. It's easier to sleep in than to show up. But easy doesn't change lives. Discipline does. Look around you. The winners, the high performers, the people living the life you say you want, they're not superhuman. They're not born with more energy. They're just more disciplined. They work when they don't feel like it. They train when it's raining. They wake up when they'd rather sleep. They say no when everyone else says yes. And because of that, they win. Take a look at your mornings. You set an alarm, and when it rings, you don't get up. You negotiate. You hit snooze like it's your job. 5 more minutes, then 5 more. What you don't realize is every time you hit snooze, you're telling your dreams they can wait. You're training your mind to be weak, to choose feelings over goals. Discipline doesn't argue. It doesn't negotiate. It moves. It acts. Discipline says, this is what must be done. And does it, tired or not. You think you need more motivation. You don't. You need standards. You need to stop letting how you feel decide what you do. Because feelings lie. Feelings tell you you're tired when you're just bored. Feelings tell you you're done when you've barely started. Feelings tell you to give up when you're inches away from breakthrough. But discipline tells the truth. It says, keep going. It says, you're capable. It says, show up anyway. Think about your daily choices. You say you're too tired to go to the gym, but you have energy to scroll through your phone for hours. You say you can't focus on your work, but you can concentrate on drama, gossip, and mindless entertainment. You say you're drained, but somehow you have energy to argue online, to binge shows, to chase distractions. You're not tired, you're undisciplined. Real tired is coming home after grinding for 12 hours, pushing your limits, facing discomfort, and still choosing to show up for yourself. Real tired is building your future brick by brick, day after day, with no applause, no recognition, no instant results. That's tired. But even then, discipline says, let's go. You have no idea what your body is capable of. You have no clue what your mind can do. Because every time you feel slightly uncomfortable, you stop. You never push far enough to see your real limits. You never stay consistent enough to earn momentum. Discipline is the difference between I wish and did. It's the gap between average and elite. You keep waiting for motivation. But motivation is a guest. Discipline is the landlord. And the rent is due every day. So the next time you say you're tired, ask yourself this: did I give everything? Did I show up fully? Did I move with purpose? Or did it just drift through the day? Reacting to life instead of commanding it. Because if you're not giving your all, you're not tired. You're avoiding the discomfort that would make you powerful. You're letting comfort make your decisions instead of character. Discipline isn't easy, but it's honest. It doesn't care if you feel like it. It only cares that you finish. So stop lying to yourself. Stop calling weakness fatigue. Start moving like your future depends on it, because it does. Pleasure is the bait, comfort is the trap. Sounds poetic, right? But it's not just a quote. It's a brutal truth wrapped in velvet. The kind of truth most people run from their entire lives. See, the world isn't trying to destroy you with pain. It's seducing you with pleasure. It's not the agony that's stealing your potential. It's the comfort that's keeping you soft. Think about it. The things that feel good in the moment, the extra slice of cake, the extra hour of sleep, the endless scrolling through meaningless content, they never lead to growth. They never lead to greatness. They only lead to regret. Comfort feels nice now, but robs you blind later. You ever see a lion in the wild, powerful, sharp, dangerous? Now compare that to a lion in a zoo, same animal, but one is alive with purpose, and the other is fed, safe, and bored. The wild lion earns every meal. The zoo lion gets it handed to him, and slowly, day by day, that once fierce predator turns into a house cat with a roar that means nothing. Comfort did that. Not pain. Comfort stripped the beast of its edge. And that's exactly what comfort is doing to you. You're not chasing your dreams because the couch is warm, the snacks are easy, and the dopamine is cheap. You're not building your empire because building hurts. Pushing through resistance is uncomfortable. And so the world offers you a shortcut, a cheap hit of pleasure. But every time you take that hit, you're giving up something greater: your time, your edge, your fire. You think the enemy is failure, but it's not. The enemy is comfort, because failure teaches, failure forces you to evolve. Comfort numbs, comfort delays. Comfort keeps you locked in a loop where nothing gets better, but nothing hurts enough to force change. You wake up in the same bed, check the same apps, go through the same dull motions, and lie to yourself that one day you'll make a move. One day. One day isn't coming. Because pleasure keeps feeding you just enough satisfaction to forget that your soul is starving. Look at your phone, the endless feed of dopamine, the reels, the likes, the fake validation. It's a trap. A digital pleasure trap designed to keep you still. Every scroll, every click, every "I'll just check for a minute" moment, it's bait. And you bite every time because it's easy, it's pleasurable. And it kills your focus. You were born to create, to dominate, to grow. But you've been tricked into becoming a consumer, a passive observer of other people's lives. You're watching winners win while you sit in a cage made of comfort, telling yourself you're okay. You're not okay. You're stuck. And it's because you keep choosing what feels good now over what builds power later. Think of the gym. The workout is hard, the burn is real, but every rep builds strength. Now think of skipping it to watch a show. It feels good in the moment, right? But you gain nothing. You didn't grow. You didn't earn. You just existed. And existence without progress is slow death. Comfort kills slowly. It doesn't slap you in the face. It wraps around you like a warm blanket and whispers, "You've earned this." But what have you earned? Really, a life that looks the same in 10 years. Dreams that stay dreams. Goals that never got a chance. Pleasure tells you to chill, to relax, to enjoy life. And yeah, you should enjoy life, but not at the cost of your destiny. Not at the cost of your potential. There's a time for rest, but most of you haven't earned it. You rest like you've conquered mountains when you haven't even climbed out of bed without hitting snooze 5 times. Comfort is a drug. The more you taste it, the more you need it. And soon you're not chasing success, you're chasing the next hit of ease. Another hour of nothing. Another meal you didn't need. Another scroll you won't remember. And while you're lost in all that pleasure, life is slipping past. Think about when you were a kid. You wanted to be great. You dreamed of being a hero, a leader, someone who mattered. You never dreamed of being comfortable. Comfort wasn't the goal. But somewhere along the way, you got tricked, told that safety, security, and convenience were what success looks like. But look at the greats, the legends, the ones who actually changed the world. None of them lived in comfort. They woke up early, trained longer, risked more. They stepped into pain on purpose because they knew growth lived there. Pain sharpens, discomfort molds. Pressure builds diamonds, but pleasure dulls the blade. Comfort puts you to sleep while life passes by. So next time you reach for the easy option, ask yourself, is this making me stronger or just keeping me still? Because pleasure is the bait, comfort is the trap. And if you don't wake up, you'll live your whole life inside it, wondering why nothing changed, wondering where the time went, wondering why you feel empty even though you were always full of potential. No man was ever made strong in comfort. And that's not just some motivational poster line. It's the core of every transformation story ever told. Strength is born in the struggle, not in the softness. But today, most people run from the very thing that would make them powerful. They avoid the grind, the hardship, the pain, thinking it's the enemy, when in fact, it's the only ally that ever tells the truth. Go ask the man who built his body through lifting heavy weights. Every rep he pushed, his muscles tore and screamed. It wasn't comfortable, it wasn't easy, but it built him. Go ask the woman who started her business from nothing, grinding through sleepless nights, risking every penny, facing rejection after rejection. Was it comfortable? Not even close, but it made her fierce. Go ask the man who conquered addiction, who dragged himself from rock bottom with nothing but willpower. Do you think comfort helped him? Comfort kept him down. Pain got him out because comfort coddles. It tells you you're fine the way you are. It gives you an excuse to stop trying. But pain is honest. Pain doesn't lie. When you fail, pain says you're not good enough yet. And if you're real enough to hear that message without ego, you get back up and you get stronger. Think of steel. It's forged in fire, intense, burning, relentless fire. Not in warm baths, not in silence, in fire, because that's what refines it, removes the weakness, reveals the strength, and humans are no different. You see, comfort is seductive. It whispers, you've done enough today. But that whisper is a lie, because greatness doesn't live in, no, it lives in more. One more rep, one more hour, one more shot. One more day when you didn't feel like showing up, but you did anyway. That's where strength is born. Look around your life. How many times have you chosen the easier path? How many times did you take the shortcut? Skip the workout, stay quiet when you should have spoken, waited when you should have acted. And what did that give you? Maybe it gave you temporary peace, but not power, not pride, not purpose. Power comes from resistance, from friction, from fighting your way through the chaos and coming out scarred, but standing. Those scars, they tell a story, not of survival, but of transformation. The reason people stay weak is not because they don't have potential. It's because they protect it. They keep it hidden, untouched, in the name of safety. They'd rather stay comfortable than risk discomfort for the sake of greatness, and so they live average lives with untapped strength buried beneath convenience. But if you want to be strong, truly strong, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to sweat, to hurt, to sacrifice. You have to wake up when the alarm hits, not hit snooze. You have to lift when your body says rest. You have to speak when your fear says shut up. You have to act when your mind screams wait. Think about every movie hero you've admired. Did they grow in the palace or the battlefield? Was their strength shaped by ease or by trial? They were betrayed, beaten, tested, and they rose because that's what real strength looks like. Not loud, not cocky, but earned. And you can't earn strength in comfort. Go walk into a cold shower. Feel your body resist. Your mind scream, get out. But you don't. You breathe, you stand there. And in that moment, you're doing something most people won't. You're facing discomfort by choice. And it's in that simple act that a deeper strength is formed. Discipline, grit, resilience. Your mind needs struggle to grow just like your muscles. No challenge, no change, no pressure, no power. If you stay in your bubble, if you never stretch, never strain, you don't stay the same. You shrink, your confidence shrinks, your courage shrinks, your life shrinks. There's a difference between comfort and peace. Peace is earned. Comfort is stolen. Peace comes after the war. Comfort is what keeps you from even showing up. Don't confuse the two. People chase comfort thinking it will make them happy, but it doesn't. It just makes them numb. And deep down, they know it. That's why the man with the nice couch and the fridge full of snacks still feels empty, because he hasn't tested himself. He hasn't earned anything. The man who trains in the rain, who fails in public, who gets knocked down and still comes back, he walks with a different energy. You feel it when he enters the room, because strength isn't in the body, it's in the eyes, in the presence, in the silence that says, I've been through hell and I'm still standing. No man was ever made strong in comfort. Comfort softens, it sedates, it destroys slowly, but discomfort, it reveals the warrior inside you, the beast, the king, the fire that was there all along, waiting for a reason to burn. So give it a reason, give it a fight. Give it the kind of life that demands strength, not safety. Because that's the only life worth living. Discipline is painful, but regret is lethal. And you only truly understand that when you're staring at the mirror at 2 a.m., wide awake, wondering why your life isn't what you imagined it to be, why the dreams feel distant, why the fire inside feels like smoke now. That's when it hits you. It wasn't the obstacles, it wasn't the world, it wasn't fate. It was the choices, the comfort, the distractions, and the lack of discipline. See, discipline is the one thing people run from because it hurts now. Waking up early, working when you're tired, saying no when temptation comes knocking. Yeah, it stings, it's not glamorous, it's lonely, it's heavy. But what they don't realize is that the pain of discipline is temporary. It burns like a workout, sharp and short. But the pain of regret, it's permanent. It whispers for years. It shows up in the missed chances, the relationships you never built, the body you never shaped, the business you never started. It stays. Imagine you want to get fit. You've been putting it off for months. Every day you say, I'll start tomorrow. And each tomorrow becomes a week, then a month, then a year. And now you're standing in front of the mirror, looking at a body you don't recognize, not because it changed overnight, but because discipline was too uncomfortable. Now regret is the one keeping you company, and it doesn't go away. Or think about the guy who had a dream to start something, maybe a business, maybe a YouTube channel, maybe write a book. He kept saying, when the time is right. And the time never came. He scrolled through his phone instead. He binge-watched shows, went out every weekend, convinced himself he had time. But time doesn't wait, and now someone else launched that idea. Someone else is living the dream he only thought about. Regret doesn't shout, it whispers. It says, if that could have been you. Discipline is showing up when no one's watching. It's saying no to the party, yes to the grind. It's doing the reps, writing the words, studying the material, building the habits, even when no one claps for you. Especially when no one claps for you. Because discipline is about who you become when the world is silent. And those moments, those silent ones, they're where character is carved. You ever seen someone old with sadness in their eyes? And you don't even have to ask. You just know they didn't live the life they wanted. They settled. They made the safe choices. They chased comfort. And now it's too late. That's regret. That's the ghost of discipline avoided. And here's the raw truth. Every time you skip the workout, you're voting for regret. Every time you hit snooze, every time you procrastinate, every time you lie to yourself with, I'll do it later, you're building a future that you won't be proud of. That's heavy, but it's real. The future is not built in some far-off day. It's built in the little decisions you make today. Every moment you choose discipline, you cast a vote for your dream. Every moment you don't, you cast a vote for your regret. Think of a fighter in the gym. Bleeding, sweating, aching. Why does he keep going? Because he knows that the pain now is the price for pride later. He doesn't want to be the man who says, I could have been champion. He wants to be the one who says, I am, and the only path to that is discipline. Look at the single mother working 2 jobs and still finding time to study at night. She's not doing it because it's easy. She's doing it because she refuses to let her kids see her quit. That's discipline, that's fire, and that's the kind of story that becomes a legacy. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the currency of every success story. And yes, it's painful. Yes, it costs you sleep, energy, comfort, and sometimes even friends. But it buys you something priceless. It buys you pride, not ego, not arrogance. Real, deep, soul-satisfying pride. The kind that makes you walk different, breathe different, live different. Regret, on the other hand, gives you nothing but questions. It asks, what if? It taunts you with visions of the person you could have been. And you can't run from that. It catches up. It follows you into jobs you hate, into relationships that feel empty, into nights where silence feels too loud. So yeah, discipline is painful, but it's clean pain. It builds, it shapes, it transforms. Regret is dirty pain. It decays, it corrodes, it rots. Choose your pain wisely, because one of them will visit you. One of them will knock on your door. And when that moment comes, you better hope it's the one that came from sweat, not sorrow. You don't need motivation. You need action. Too many people are sitting around waiting for the spark, waiting for the perfect video, the perfect quote, the perfect moment that'll light them up and push them to chase what they know they should already be doing. But here's the truth that most can't handle. Motivation is unreliable. It's a liar. It's temporary. It comes and goes like the wind. And if you build your life around waiting to feel ready, you'll waste your entire existence watching others pass you by. People wake up, scroll through their phones, see a motivational video and feel a jolt. Today is the day, they say. But by lunch, that fire's gone. The world gets noisy. Distractions pile up. Motivation fades, and they're back in the same cycle. It's like trying to light a fire with wet wood. Sparks everywhere, but nothing catches. Why? Because motivation isn't enough. It never was. Action is what turns sparks into flames. You want to change your body. Stop watching gym motivation videos and get under the damn bar. You want to start a business. Stop reading 10 books on entrepreneurship and make the first sale. You want to build a better life. Stop dreaming and do something. Anything. Because action doesn't wait for motivation. It creates it the first time you wake up early. It sucks. Your body screams. Your bed feels like heaven. Your mind says, just 5 more minutes. But when you override that voice and get up anyway, you feel it power. Not from motivation, but from action. You did what most people won't, and that creates momentum. And momentum, not motivation, is what builds greatness. Think about a guy stuck in a dead-end job. Every day he says, I'm going to get out of this, but he doesn't. Why? Because he's waiting to feel ready. He's waiting for motivation, waiting for a sign, and while he waits, years pass. Bills pile up. Dreams fade. Now contrast that with another man who feels just as tired, just as frustrated, but instead of waiting, he acts. He uses his breaks to learn a new skill. He applies for jobs every night. He starts a side hustle. He's not motivated, he's disciplined. And discipline is where real change begins. Action is what separates the talkers from the doors. Everyone has ideas, everyone has dreams, but dreams without action are just hallucinations. You can spend your whole life talking about what you're going to do, how you're going to get rich, how you're going to get fit, how you're going to be different. But if you never move, you're just another person with good intentions and no results. You want to know what really shifts your mindset. Results, and results come from action. Not from journaling about your goals, not from manifesting, not from wishing. Real change comes when you move your feet, when you pick up the phone, when you take the risk, when you make the call, when you start even when everything inside you says, not today. Look at athletes. They don't always feel like training. They don't wake up every day feeling like beasts, but they train anyway. Why? Because they know the secret: action beats emotion. The body follows the mind, and the mind gets stronger when you show it who's in charge. Every rep, every mile, every round, it's a vote for the person you're becoming. Or take the story of a student failing every subject. Everyone counts him out. Even he doubts himself, but he decides one night to stop complaining, stop blaming, and start studying. Not for hours, not with some perfect routine. Just 15 minutes, one subject. He does it again the next day. Then the next. Weeks pass, grades rise, confidence grows. Now people call him smart, but it wasn't magic, it wasn't motivation, it was action. You don't need to feel good to do good. That's the biggest lie the world sells you. You don't need to be in the mood, you need to show up. Even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Because the more you act, the less power your excuses have. You starve them, you silence them. And one day, without realizing it, you become the kind of person who doesn't wait to be motivated. You become the kind who moves mountains with discipline. Stop looking for a sign. Stop waiting to feel like it. That feeling, it might never come, but the result will, the change will. The life you want, it's sitting behind the work you're avoiding. And once you realize that, you'll stop needing motivation altogether. Because the real high, the real rush, the real power, it's not in watching others win. It's in watching yourself rise through your own sweat, pain, and relentless action. Soft habits create hard lives. It sounds almost too simple to be true, but it's the reason why most people are stuck, broke, uninspired, and secretly unhappy. People think comfort is harmless. That's sleeping in every morning, skipping the gym because it's raining, or choosing junk food because it's easier than cooking, or just little things. But those little things pile up. They stack like bricks, building walls around your potential until you can't even see the person you could have been. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you're quietly shaping a future that's difficult, dull, and filled with regret. It starts small. Maybe you hit snooze once, no big deal. Maybe you procrastinate on your project just for today. Maybe you scroll on your phone for hours instead of working on your goals. Nothing crazy. But soon, those small habits become your life, and you look around wondering why you're not where you want to be. The truth: you built that life with your own hands, brick by brick. With soft habits, a guy who chooses to sleep an extra hour every day might feel like he's treating himself, but over a year, he's lost 365 hours. That's over 2 weeks of productivity, discipline, skill building, or self-improvement. 2 weeks could have changed everything, and yet he traded it all for a blanket and a few more minutes of comfort. Imagine a woman who dreams of writing a book. She talks about it every time someone asks about her goals. But every night, instead of writing one paragraph, she binge watches another show. Years pass. She still talks about the book, but nothing's on paper. That's what soft habits do. They rob your future and sell you the illusion of peace. But that peace is fake. It turns into anxiety, the quiet guilt in the back of your mind, whispering, you should be doing more. It eats at you. Slowly, people complain about how hard life is, but never realize they made it hard by choosing easy every single day. You skip workouts, then complain about your health. You avoid responsibility, then wonder why your career's not moving. You refuse discomfort, and then you're shocked when life punches you in the face and you have no resilience, no grit, no muscle, mental or physical, to fight back. Soft habits don't prepare you for the real world. They weaken you. Hard lives aren't built by trauma alone. They're built by 1,000 little choices to avoid doing what needs to be done. Because growth isn't supposed to feel good. It's not supposed to be easy. That's what makes it rare. That's what makes it valuable. When you avoid the pain, you avoid the progress. When you choose comfort, You're choosing a future where life gets harder and harder because you never trained yourself to handle pressure. Think about a man who chooses to push himself every day, not just once in a while, but consistently. He wakes up early when it hurts. He trains when he's tired. He reads when others are watching Netflix. He takes the cold shower not because he enjoys it, but because it teaches him to conquer discomfort. Now life throws problems at him, and he doesn't break. He's forged in fire. He's dangerous not because he's aggressive, but because he's disciplined. He's in control. While everyone else is drowning in their own excuses, he's rising. Discipline looks like pain now, but it saves you pain later. Comfort feels good now, but it multiplies your pain later. And people don't want to hear that. They want shortcuts, hacks, dopamine hits they want to enjoy now and figure out life later. But life doesn't work like that. It punishes those who take it lightly. The longer you avoid the hard things, the more they start to control you. The bills you avoid pile up. The conversations you delay explode. The body you neglect begins to decay. And the dreams you ignore turn into regrets that never let you sleep. Look at your habits, not your goals, not your dreams, your daily actions. Do they align with the person you say you want to become? Because your habits tell the truth about your future. Soft habits are like termites. They don't make noise, but they eat you from the inside out. You notice the damage until it's too late. You think you're doing fine. Then one day you wake up and realize you're nowhere near where you thought you'd be. And it's not because life is unfair. It's because you chose soft over strong, easy over effort, and comfort over conquest. You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your habits. And if your habits are soft, your life will be hard. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards action, effort, resilience, and consistency. It rewards those who do the hard things when no one's watching, who say no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary, even when it sucks, especially when it sucks. Because those moments build a version of you that nothing can break. You want an easier life. Earn it, build it, create it through hard habits, through sweat, through grind. Through choosing pain now so that you don't live in suffering later. Because suffering caused by regret is worse than any pain discipline will ever bring you. Pain from doing the work gives you pride. Pain from avoiding the work gives you shame. And no one talks about that. They'll clap for your comfort, but they won't be there when the consequences show up. They won't save you from the life you built through your soft habits. You see, the difference between the person you are and the person you want to become is hidden in the choices you make when no one is watching. It's in those quiet moments when comfort whispers in your ear, tempting you to stay soft, that the battle is either won or lost. Greatness was never born in ease. It was carved in fire, sculpted in sacrifice, and molded by the hands of relentless discipline. The man who chooses pain now avoids suffering later. The one who avoids pain now, he meets it tenfold down the road. And life, my friend, has no sympathy for the soft. It only respects the strong. The truth is brutal, but freeing. You are the sum of your habits, not your dreams, not your potential, not even your talent. Your habits define your destiny. If your habits are weak, your life will crumble under pressure. If they're strong, you'll become unshakable. Everyone wants a lion's share of life, but no one wants to bleed like a lion. Everyone wants to shine, but few are willing to endure the dark. But remember this, diamonds are made in darkness. Pressure is what brings out the brilliance. Stop running from it, embrace it, because when you walk through fire, you don't come out burnt, you come out forged. Comfort is the most seductive prison ever built. It's got no bars, no chains, just soft pillows and distractions that slowly suffocate your purpose. But there's something powerful in choosing discomfort, because while others are relaxing, you're rising. While they're sleeping, you're building. While they're scrolling, you're grinding. And one day, when the storm comes, you'll be the only one standing. Not because life spared you, but because you prepared for it. Warriors aren't born on the battlefield. They're made in the dark. Long before the war begins, you want power. Earn it. You want respect. Command it through action, not words. Success is rented, and the rent is due every day. If you don't pay the price in sweat, you'll pay it in regret. And trust me, regret is a debt no man wants to carry. Ask the older man who looks back and wishes he had started. Ask the mother who gave up her dreams for comfort. Ask the young man who let fear kill his ambition. They all tell the same story. I wish I had done more when I had the chance. Your future self is watching you right now through a window of time, and he's either going to thank you or curse you. Every rep, every early morning, every sacrifice, it's not for now, it's for him. It's for the legacy. It's for the name you'll leave behind. Lions don't chase opinions, they chase greatness. And greatness never lived in comfort. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting it. The ones who win aren't the ones who feel like it every day. They're the ones who do it even when they don't. Because that's the difference between average and alpha, between forgotten and legendary, between a life of noise and a legacy of impact. So when life tries to lull you back into softness, remember this: pressure is a privilege. The grind is a gift. Discomfort is a weapon. And pain is the price of freedom. If it was easy, everyone would have it, but it's not. And that's what makes it worth it. The next time you feel tired, lazy, uninspired, stand up, move, fight back. Because the world bows to those who refuse to kneel to comfort. Winners bleed. Champions suffer. Legends rise. Your time is now. Don't waste it waiting for the perfect moment. Create it, craft it, conquer it. Because at the end of the day, life doesn't care about how you feel. It only rewards what you do.